I am in the bowels of Rocket Arena for what's going to be the quickest post-game show, maybe in the history of UCSS, but the Cavs are now just 3 seconds away from taking a 2-0 series lead over the Miami Heat here in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Cavs lead 120 to 112 with 3 seconds left. Cleveland played one incredible quarter. In the second quarter, the Cavaliers offensively were immaculate. They made 11 threes in the second quarter alone. That's a new playoff record, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire NBA. And then in the third quarter and for most of the fourth quarter, the offense kind of took a step down and they let Miami get back into it. They made it a 2-point game at one point in the fourth quarter, and then Donovan Mitchell took over. 16 points, 17 points. I don't even know the exact number, but in the fourth quarter alone, Donovan single-handedly willing Cleveland offensively to a big-time win. And it is official, 121-112 your final, a 9-point win here for Cleveland, who led by as many as 19 points in the second quarter, as we mentioned, during that Cavalanche run they went on. Miami had no answers. It went Merrill 3, it went Hunter 3, it went Hunter 3, it went Merrill 3, it went Donovan 3, it went Evan 3. Boom, 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 back to back to back to back to back. And just like that, the Cavs went from being down 9 to up 19. It stayed that way for most of the third quarter, but Miami started clawing their way back. In the end, though, Miami just simply didn't have the firepower to match what Cleveland had. You had guys like DeAndre Hunter, who scored 0 points in the first game of this series, scored 12 points today. Strus, 14 points. Donovan, 30 points for the second straight game. Garland, 21. Allen, 9 points, 8 rebounds. And Evan Mobley with 20 points. He made 3 threes, most of those coming in the first half. In the second half, a much quieter performance from Evan and frankly from everyone offensively. Outside of Donovan Mitchell in that final 6-minute stretch, and maybe even more like the final 4.5 minutes, he went nuclear. 3, 3, 3, got to the cup, finished. It was a really impressive performance from Donovan down the stretch. At the end of the day, big picture here, guys. You can't nitpick a playoff win. You win a playoff game, you win a playoff game. Carter Ballard, I'm live on air right now. I got to run. I'm doing a post game show. Look, you're on TV. That's Carter. I got to run. Sorry guys, that's an annoying friend of mine from back home. Love you, Carter. But you can't nitpick a playoff win. If you win a playoff game in any capacity, it is a good win. Point blank, period. End of story. It is a good win. Could Cleveland have been a little crisper in the second half? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not giving them any excuses. I'm not giving them any passes. But a playoff win is a playoff win. There are some things I do think it is worth mentioning and pointing out here. Sam Merrill, once again, I thought did a very good job defensively. Isaac Okoro played a ton of minutes in the second half. He said he only played 10 minutes for the game. That can't be right. It feels like in the fourth quarter he was in there for a prolonged stretch. But the box score says 10 minutes. Maybe it just felt like a longer stretch. He was one of two from the floor. Had his 3 points. He did make a three-pointer, his first one of the postseason this year. But during that stretch when Okoro was in and Donovan was on the bench, it was about a 3-minute stretch, which is the normal rotation for the Cavs, where they had Mobley and Mitchell on the bench. Allen was in the game. They had not an unconventional lineup, but with the core, with Allen, and with those two guys not on the court, Cleveland just struggled to score. And that is when Miami kind of made their comeback. If you look at the point differential by quarter in this game, the first quarter, Cleveland won by 1 point, 25-24. The third quarter, Miami won by 4 points, 29-25. The fourth quarter, despite Donovan going supernova down the stretch, 32-28 in favor of Miami. It was really that second quarter where Cleveland won by 16 points, 43-27. That was the difference in this game. But a playoff win is a playoff win. The Cavs are now up 2-0 in the series as they head to Miami for Game 3 on Saturday afternoon. I got about 3 minutes left before I got to go get into Kenny Atkinson's post-game press conference. Curious to see what he says. We knew Miami was going to come out and give a better fight than we saw in Game 1. They had 3 extra days to prepare for this game, or 2 extra days really, compared to the first game of the series where they played on Wednesday, and then they played on Friday, and then they played on Sunday. So no real preparation. And this is a playoff-tested team. This is a championship caliber roster that has, maybe not championship caliber roster, but guys on this roster with championship experience. And you have one of the best head coaches in all of basketball. So I wasn't surprised that this Miami team didn't come out and just kind of wilt away like you see in the Western Conference in the 1-8 series where Memphis has no business playing alongside the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they don't look even interested in trying to compete with OKC. That's not the case with Miami. Like, they are going to compete. They are going to be a pain in the ass for the Cavaliers, not just tonight, but in the next 2, 3, 4 games, however many it takes for Cleveland to close out this series. But at the end of the day, I said this before the series started. I said this during Game 1. I'll say it after Game 2. Miami does not have the firepower to go shot for shot with Cleveland. Tyler Hero was awesome tonight. For Miami, like Tyler Hero made a ton of tough shots. He was 14 to 24 from the floor for a game high 33 points. He was 4 of 11 from three, and he's going to make those kind of shots. It's all about making him work for those kind of shots. And the Cavs did make him work. And whenever they didn't, he got open looks. Outside of him, Davion Mitchell chipped in 18 points. Hayward Highsmith was 6 of 7, 5 of 6 from the floor. They got 17 plus. It's 35 points from Davion Mitchell and Hayward Highsmith on a combined 13 of 16 from the floor and a combined 7 of 10 from three. That's as good as you could ask for from Miami's role players. That's as much as you could ask for from Miami's role players. It still wasn't enough to outscore Cleveland on a night where Jared Allen had 9 points, where Ty Jerome had 6 points, where Dean Wade once again went scoreless. When your entire bench, if you add it all together, had 12, 15, 27 points, slightly below their season or well below their season average. So it's a firepower thing, guys. It's not an X's and O's. It's the Jimmys and Joes. And the Heat, with all due respect to Miami, they don't have the Jimmys and the Joes and the firepower offensively to keep up with Cleveland. I thought early in the game, Cavs got off to a slow start. Miami did a good job tinkering with the tempo. But in that second quarter, when Cleveland started running, they started forcing turnovers. They upped the pressure defensively. It led to some fast break opportunities, and it led to some open transition threes. That's when Cleveland was at its best tonight. And it's easier said than done. Obviously, you want to force turnovers. You want to get out and run. You have to make Miami and put them in disadvantageous situations so you can get those turnovers and force that. And Cleveland did it, and when they did it, they were damn good at it. And when they weren't doing it, Miami mucked it up. They forced Cleveland to work offensively. I thought in the fourth quarter, they were incredibly stagnant until Donovan took over. Too much standing around, not enough ball movement. So there's small criticisms to take out of it, but at the end of the day, Donovan Mitchell took over when it mattered most, and that's why you pay him a max contract. That's why he is one of the premier stars in the NBA. He's not in the Luka, Giannis, Jokic, SGA tier, but he's a tier 2 star. He's most likely going to be a first-team All-NBA performer this season, and you acquire a guy like that. You give up all those draft picks, not for a game in November, not for a game in March, but for a game in April. In a playoff game, you have one of those guys. How you doing, man? You have one of those guys who can go shot for shot and carry an offense in a playoff game against a set defense like Donovan did tonight. So enjoy the fact that you, if you're watching the stream, I'm assuming you're a Cavs fan, get to cheer and root for Donovan Mitchell on a night in, night out basis, because what he did tonight is exactly why you acquire a guy like that. The first 48 minutes of the game matter, but it's that final 4-minute stretch when the defenses tighten up and it goes mano-a-mano. Defenses say, if you're going to beat us, it's not going to be on a backcut. It's going to be you going isolation against one of our better defenders. Can you take and can you make those shots? And Donovan certainly did tonight. I thought Evan was better than he was in game one. I thought Jarrett, there were still some opportunities for Cleveland to force feed him the ball down low. They did it in the second quarter. Darius and Jarrett ran a pick and roll. They switched. And Darius had an opportunity to take a step back three. Instead, he dumped it down. Jarrett had Davion on his back. He did a little shimmy shake and then went with the left hand. Got the end one. It was beautiful. I just think Cleveland has more opportunities to do that than they've utilized so far. Maybe that's a little tweak we see in games 3 and 4 down in Miami. Other guys, I thought Merrill once again played well defensively. He had a little in transition in that avalanche that kind of escalated the 11-point or 11 3-pointer second quarter that we saw from Cleveland. He had 2 guys on the wings in transition, instead pulled up for himself and cashed it. Hunter was a lot better tonight. Jerome, not nearly as good. He wasn't plus 10, but he was 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 4 from 3. He missed some floaters. Guys, it's like the first time I can remember all season that Ty Jerome has missed a floater. This dude is Mr. Consistent. I did that whole interview with him, and then he goes out and misses a floater. So he got them all in game 1, missed them in game 2. But I got to wrap here because I'm getting the word that Kenny's walking to the podium. Big picture, a playoff win's a playoff win. Do not nitpick. Do not complain. Oh, we didn't win by enough. It wasn't pretty. It's the playoffs. A win is a win. You take them however you can get them. The Cavs have to win 16 of these to hoist the Larry O'Brien trophy when it's all said and done. And they are now 14 away. 14 wins away from being crowned champions of the NBA. Donovan Mitchell saved the day, but it was that avalanche run in the second quarter, that historic shooting performance in the second quarter, that was the difference for Cleveland. And then they got up by 19. They took the foot off their gas a little bit. It's not perfect performance by any means. I would love to see a team with championship aspirations just put their foot on the throat of Miami Heat and give them no chance, suffocate them, take their will to live away and their will to compete in this game away. Didn't happen tonight, but there are lessons to be learned from this, and you'd much rather learn lessons in a close win than in a close loss. The Cavaliers are up 2 games to none over the Miami Heat in the first round of the Eastern Conference Finals and 14 games away from being able to call themselves champions of the NBA. I appreciate you guys. I got to run. Kenny Atkinson's going to the podium. I am in the bowels of Rocket Arena. I got to figure out how to even get back to the media section. But we will talk about this tomorrow in more depth on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. For now, though, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow. Go Cavs. Peace.